Hello, and welcome to Principles of Microeconomics. This is Module 5.5, and we will be discussing monopolistic competition. In monopolistically competitive markets, what we see is that we have lots and lots of buyers and lots of sellers. But each seller is selling a similar but slightly differentiated good. We still have free entry and exit into this market, so there's no cost for firms to enter or exit. These characteristics of the market tell us that the firm has some price control because their product is slightly different than their competition. In the short run, what we'll see is that the firm can experience positive economic profits and act as a monopoly. On the other hand, in the long run, because of free entry and exit into the market, the long run equilibrium is going to yield zero economic profits, and the firm is going to act as a firm in perfect competition. So, if we observe a monopolistically competitive firm and their production decisions in the short run, as you can see here, their decisions look very similar to those of a monopoly. We can see that the firm is faced with a downward sloping demand curve, downward sloping marginal revenue, upward sloping marginal cost. They're going to produce at the point where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Let's call that point A. And they're going to set their price above marginal cost so that they're setting the price according to demand at point B. So there's going to be some markup over cost because price is greater than marginal cost. And that's because they have some price control. But again, they want to maximize their profits, so they're producing where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So what we observe in this scenario here is that this firm in the short run has positive economic profits. Positive economic profits are possible in the short run, but we'll see that we will have zero economic profits in the long run. So in the long run, what we observe is that because we have free entry and exit of firms in the market, firms are going to operate at a point where the price is greater than marginal cost. There's some markup, but because of the free entry and exit, price is going to be equal to average total cost. Therefore, the market outcomes are going to be similar to what we see in perfectly competitive markets. So, what do we observe in the long run? If the price is greater than average total cost, in the short run, we have positive economic profits. But over time, more and more firms are going to enter into this market to take advantage of those positive economic profits. As a result, this is going to cause a shift in the supply curve. The shift in the supply curve is going to cause downward pressure on the price, and the price is going to reach a point where it's equal to the average total cost. When the price is equal to average total cost, there's no incentive for firms to enter or exit this market. Therefore, the total number of firms is going to stay constant, and we're going to reach the long-run equilibrium. The price will be greater than marginal cost, but the price will also be equal to average total cost. So what happens when the price is greater than average total cost? So let's start off here at a point such as A. This is the point where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. We set our prices according to B. So our price will be here, we'll call this P1. We see that this is greater than the average total cost. We'll call this ATC1. So in the short run, this is telling us that the firm has positive profits. Now, what happens is that over time, that means that more firms are going to enter. Of course, if you think about it in the short run, between now and, let's say, the end of the month, it's difficult for new firms to enter into this market and all of a sudden set up shop in production. That's why we say that new firms are going to enter in the long run. So when this happens, we're going to have a shift out of the supply curve because we have an increase in the number of firms, increase in the number of suppliers. So we move from a point such as P1 to a point such as P2. And this causes a downward pressure on the price. So with this downward pressure on the price, what we observe is that both the demand curve shifts in and the marginal revenue curve shifts in, so that we produce at a point where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. We'll call this point A prime. And we set the price according to the demand. So here what we observe over the long term, as new firms enter the market to take advantage of the positive economic profits, is that the price is equal to average total cost, and the price is greater than marginal cost. So we have some markup, but marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Now, what if the price is less than average total cost? Then in the short run, we're experiencing negative profits or a loss. So therefore, firms are going to exit this market to avoid the loss. Let's observe what happens. Here's a situation where the price is below average total cost. We produce, again, at point A, where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. We set the price at point B according to the demand. We'll call this, again, P1 and Q1. Here you can see here's the price, and here's average total cost. So the difference here is a loss for the firm. So if they're experiencing negative profits in the short run, firms are going to want to exit the market. So we have an exit of firms. As this happens, the supply is going to shift in. And we move from a price such as P1 to a price such as P2. And we have upward pressure on the price. So what we observe then is that the demand curve shifts up and the marginal revenue curve shifts up, so that we're producing at a new point where the new marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. We'll call this point A prime. And the price is based on the new demand. We'll call this P2. At this point, point B prime, what we observe is that the price is equal to average total cost. The price is greater than marginal cost, and we're producing where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So in the long run, what we observe is that the number of firms adjusts in the market until we reach a point where we have zero economic profits. No firms will want to enter and no firms will want to leave. In the short run, we can experience both negative profits as well as positive profits for each firm individually in the market. Thank you so much for joining me in Module 5.5 on monopolistic competition.